In the winter of 1889, a young John D. Rockefeller sat across from a group of bankers who had never met him before. He had no inherited wealth. He had no family connections in the room. He had nothing that the men across the table from him had been born into. What he did have was something far more valuable than any of those things. A reputation so precisely and deliberately constructed that by the time he walked through the door, the room had already decided who he was. The bankers did not lend to the young man sitting before them. They lent to the reputation that had arrived before him. And that reputation, built stone by stone over years of calculated behavior, would become the foundation of the greatest private fortune in American history. Not talent, not luck, not connection. Reputation, arriving first, opening every door before his hand ever touched it. People decide who you are before you speak. This is not a flaw in human judgment. It is the way human judgment has always worked and will always work. The mind does not wait for complete information before forming conclusions. It uses the information available to it. Your reputation, your history, your perceived patterns of behavior. And it decides. In most cases, by the time you open your mouth in any room, the room has already formed an opinion that your words will either confirm or struggle against. The person who understands this does not leave their reputation to chance or to the incomplete and often inaccurate stories others will tell about them. They build it, deliberately, precisely, with the same strategic intelligence that a general applies to a battlefield. Julius Caesar understood this at a level that made him one of the most effective political operators in history. Before his military campaigns made him famous, Caesar invested extraordinary resources into public spectacle. He hosted lavish games. He financed public works. He made himself visible in Rome's social and political life in ways that cost him money he barely had, because he understood something that most of his contemporaries did not. The investment in reputation was not vanity. It was infrastructure. Every denarius spent on building how Rome perceived him was an investment that would return with compounding interest the moment he needed the city's goodwill for something that actually mattered. When his real campaigns began, Rome already knew who he was, or thought it did, and that belief, that preformed conclusion, was worth more than any army. There is a reason the most powerful people in every field spend what appears to be disproportionate resources on how they are perceived. It is not ego. It is economics. Your reputation is a force multiplier. It operates on everything you do, amplifying the impact of your actions before you take them and after you take them. A doctor with an impeccable reputation for competence and integrity gets different results from the same medical intervention than a doctor whose reputation is uncertain. Not because their skill differs, but because the patient's trust, shaped entirely by reputation, affects the outcome before the treatment begins. A business with a reputation for delivering results closes deals in the first meeting that a business without that reputation cannot close in 10. Your reputation is working for you or against you in every room you enter, even the rooms you have never physically been in, even the conversations about you that happen when you are not present. John D. Rockefeller did not build his reputation by telling people he was trustworthy. He built it by being ruthlessly consistent. Every commitment he made was kept. Every standard he set was maintained. Every promise he made, explicit or implied, was honored with a precision that people around him eventually stopped questioning because they had stopped being surprised by it. His word became so reliable that in an era before modern financial instruments, a handshake with Rockefeller was considered stronger legal protection than a signed contract with most other men. He did not tell the market who he was. He showed the market who he was, repeatedly, in every interaction, over years, until the market's conclusion was so settled that no single contrary event could move it. Now imagine this. Two men enter the same industry with the same qualifications. The first manages his reputation the way most people manage it, passively. He does good work when he feels like it, and adequate work when he does not. He makes commitments he sometimes keeps and sometimes adjusts when keeping them becomes inconvenient. He is pleasant in the rooms that matter to him and less careful in the rooms he believes do not. He assumes that his reputation is the average of his best moments and that the other moments simply disappear. They do not disappear. They accumulate. Every adjusted commitment, every inconsistency between his visible self and his private self, every room where he was less than his best, all of it is being quietly recorded by the people in those rooms and quietly shared with the people who were not. Within 5 years, his reputation is a patchwork, useful in some contexts, questioned in others, actively working against him in a few. He cannot see the full picture because nobody shows it to him directly, but he senses it in the rooms that take slightly longer to open, in the opportunities that seem to go to people with less experience, in the relationships that never quite develop the depth they should. The second man treats every interaction, regardless of its apparent importance, as a contribution to a permanent record. The junior colleague nobody else bothers to impress. The vendor call that seemed routine. The email sent late on a Friday when no one important was watching. He does not do this through exhausting performance. He does it because he understands that character is not what you display when it matters. Character is what you do when you believe it does not. And reputation is simply what happens when enough people have witnessed your character in enough unguarded moments that the conclusion becomes undeniable. This is the wealth dimension of reputation that almost nobody teaches directly. Your reputation is a financial asset that compounds over time in the same way that invested capital compounds. A strong reputation reduces the friction in every transaction you are involved in. It lowers the cost of doing business because trust is not free. Every transaction that requires the other party to take a risk on your reliability has a cost embedded in it, a risk premium that a strong reputation eliminates. The most trusted professionals do not just get more business. They get better terms, faster decisions, and relationships that produce opportunity streams rather than individual transactions. Your reputation is either earning compound returns or costing you compound losses in every interaction you are not present for. There is no neutral state. A reputation not actively maintained deteriorates, because time and the stories of others will fill any vacuum you leave in how you are perceived. So here is how you build and protect it. 3 principles. Write these down. First, be ruthlessly consistent in the commitments you make, not heroically ambitious in your promises and then inconsistent in your delivery. Consistently excellent in small commitments, so that the pattern of your reliability becomes so established that your word on larger things requires no further evidence. Most people reverse this. They perform spectacularly for big audiences and let the small moments slide. The small moments are the ones that build the actual foundation. Anybody can deliver when the stakes are visible. The person who delivers when no one is watching is the person whose reputation eventually arrives in the room before they do. Second, protect your reputation in the rooms you think do not matter. The conversation with the junior employee, the interaction with the service person, the email you write when you are tired and believe nobody important will see it. These are not insignificant. They are data points that get collected, connected, and eventually form a picture that either matches or contradicts what you present in the rooms you do consider important. Reputation is the aggregate of all the data points, not just the selected ones. And the people in the rooms you ignore have connections to the people in the rooms you want. Third, let your reputation do the work before you arrive. The most powerful version of this principle is proactive. Deliberately build a record of results, a visible history of delivery, a public or semi-public trail of your actual capability and character, so that when an important opportunity arises, the room has already been prepared by what your reputation has said about you before you walk through the door. This is not self-promotion in the shallow sense. This is strategic reputation architecture, the deliberate construction of a record that speaks accurately and powerfully about who you are and what can be expected from you. A strong reputation wins battles before they begin. The person whose reputation arrives before them walks into every room with an invisible army already deployed. Their credibility is established before they speak. Their value is accepted before they prove it. Their words carry the weight of everything their reputation has already said. Protect your reputation like a kingdom, because in every arena that matters, business, relationships, power, It is your most valuable and most dangerous weapon. The next law drops soon. Until then, stay dangerous.